Hello everyone and welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh video on the channel. After watching episode 52 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, I came up with a theory about the Belgiarians, and Yuudias and Zuijo in particular. Now, obviously this video will contain quite a bit of spoilers for the show, at least up to episode 52, so if you don't want that, I suggest you turn off this video now. I'll come back after you've watched Go Rush. Please also note that I'm only going over the sub, as I have not watched the dub for this show. And now let's jump into my theory about Yuudias Belgiar. In episode 51, we learn that all Belgiarians are artificial life forms, Karutumata. Yuudias didn't seem to know this, and Zuijo seemed surprised when he got revived, meaning that they probably didn't know about it prior to that. I believe that the two times we know about are in fact the only times that Zuijo has died and been revived, or at least that the first time we know about was actually his first time being revived, since it is possible for him to have died other times that we don't know about after that first time. I will say it is theoretically possible to have some kind of mechanism that erases the memory of being revived so they don't remember being dead, but that kind of goes out the window because Zuijo currently remembers it. Since he seemed surprised to get revived and even asked, "What am I?" I don't think he'd ever been revived before, meaning that he had never died before. So Zuijo would have just been living out one continuous lifetime before that. For Yuudias, I think it's very similar, but I don't think Yuudias has actually ever died. He didn't seem to know that Belgiarians got revived prior to Zuijo telling him, and since Zuijo remembers being revived, it stands to reason that if Yuudias had been revived at one point, he would have also remembered that. But there's actually another reason that I think he's never died. In episode 52, when Yuudias returns to Earth, the MIK has an anti-Karutumata beam, which, by the way, where do they even get that? But anyway, the MIK uses the beam on both Yuudias and Belgiar, and it zaps everyone inside Belgiar, but doesn't work on Yuudias. Even Yuudias doesn't know why it doesn't affect him. My theory is that the beam will only work on Belgiarians that have previously died and been revived. So the Go Rush U does something to them when they get revived, and that's what the beam is targeting. But since it works on those inside Belgiar, but doesn't affect Yuudias, that would mean that the Belgiarians inside Belgiar have been revived at least once, but Yuudias hasn't. I want to finish up with a couple of alternate theories. Yuudias could just not be a Belgiarian, but I really don't think that's the case. A more likely theory is that something happened with the Earth Damar to make Yuudias quote-unquote real, thus proving Zuijo's theory correct. If this happened, Yuudias himself would not be aware of it, which is why he doesn't know why the beam doesn't work on him. If my first theory turns out to be wrong, I personally think that the second alternate theory is the one that's going to be correct. So, that wraps up my theory about Yuudias. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Have a great day everyone, and I'll see you next time for another Yu-Gi-Oh video.